Hello, I am back with another video for you. This video is very OU heavy, so I'm going to talk about a couple of things. I've recorded both of these videos previously on my camera, and I decided to refilm them for a couple of reasons. One, I'm really struggling to get the footage off my camera onto my laptop, edited and up, and I wanted to just post these because I feel like they're really relevant to now, and I didn't want to post them at a time that didn't feel right. So apologies that we're still in the phone camera bad quality pink zone, but I wanted to film these and just upload them raw, if you will. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about, as you can gather from the title of this video, is the OU marking, so the grade results. So there's been a lot of controversy in the news around A-level grades, GCSE grades, etc. But I haven't seen a lot about university grades. And I got my grades in the middle of July. Yeah, middle of July, end of July time. And I can't speak for a brick uni because I currently don't know anybody that's studying at a brick university. All I can talk about is like my experience with the grading, Megan, my other half's experience, and I've got another family member who's doing Open University in the same year as me. And yeah, it seems to be a bit of a weird one. They've basically blanket marked everybody down from what I can gather, so irrespective of module type, course length, so if you're doing part-time, full-time, irrespective of that, they've marked everybody down. So to give you an example, one module of mine, I got, on 3 of the assignments, I got 75%, 71% and 62%, which is not bad. It's not great, it's not as good as my other modules, but I struggled with this module. I found it more difficult and harder to wrap my head around. So I wasn't expecting a particularly high grade in that course, but I was quite gutted when I got my results and I'd been given 61 overall. Now bear in mind, I should say that the Open Uni cancelled all of the final assignments for this year, so that's not just exams. So I had one exam that I should have had, that was cancelled, but they also cancelled the externally marked assignments, which are EMAs, for everybody up until September, I believe, in the interest of making it fair for everybody. So they didn't have some students that were still having to do assignments and things like that, and other students who basically just didn't have to worry about it. So in the interest of fairness, they cancelled everything, but that did mean that you didn't even have the choice. And their reasoning for marking everybody down was on the basis that pupils historically have not done as well with the exam compared to their coursework. So their exam result is usually worse than their coursework result or their TMA essay results, which I really struggled with, actually, because I feel like that's an unfair statement. Not everybody does better in coursework or essays or anything like that. Some people really flourish in exams or perform better under high pressure situations. I know I do. So I feel like it was very unfair to take that opportunity away from people and then also not, like, then mark them down. But it is what it is. The OU have released a statement saying they will not alter those grades at any point. It's put a spanner in the works for me, because it means that I really, really have to graft this year. I mean, I was going to obviously anyway, but I'm further away from where I wanted to be and where I think I should be. So there is a lot more pressure on this year for me, but that it is what it is. I can't change it. I just have to roll with the punches and see what this next and final year brings. So on that note, I wanted to show you what you get when you get your study materials. So I had So I'm doing 2 modules this year. So I've got DD 103 and DE 300. I'll pop them in the link below if you're interested in what they are. So these are 2 of the stage 3 modules that you do. You have to do DE 300, it's compulsory. You also have to finish your degree on DE 300. So if you're doing it over 6 years, you'll have DE 100 will be your 2nd year. This is for psychology, by the way. DE 100 will be your 2nd year. DE 200 will be your 4th year. DE 400 will be your 4th year, and DE 300 will be your 6th year. If you're doing it over 3 years, then it will just be 1 every year, basically. But the other module you can pick, so there was a couple of choices. The one I went for was the forensics based one because I found it the most interesting out of all of the options that were available. So I will show you what I got. So for DE 300, I received 3 things in the post. There we go. So the first thing that you should look at is your contents checklist. So you'll get this with every dispatch of your study materials. This one has got the 4 things that I should have in this packet, and it also has just a letter on the back giving me information about the module and the online forum. Then there is this, which says read me first. The reason I say to do the checklist first is because you can make sure that everything is there. And then obviously if it's not, then you can contact the distribution centre and ask them to send out anything that's missing. I've not had anything ever be missing in my pack before, so I don't know how regularly it happens, but I personally have not had anything missing. So the read me first thing is just kind of like a brief introduction, I suppose. So down the bottom you've got the 6 steps that you need to take at the beginning. It's got the FAQs on the back, and then inside it's the 6 steps just in a bit more detail for you. So you read through that and it kind of gives you, it will answer a lot of the initial questions you have. So it's very useful if you're going into your first year. You should get one of these in your pack as far as I'm aware. If you're in your first year, you do also normally get like an assignment booklet which gives you more information about the TMAs and the EMAs and things that you need in there. So if you have just received your study materials for your first year, have a good look through those. The assignment booklets also publish your TMA dates, so they're always good to pop in your diary now so that they don't creep up on you, because before you know it, it will be November and your first assignment will be due in. So pop it in your diary now and start not thinking about it, but I found it easy to look at the TMAs whilst I was studying because I knew the kind of things that I had to focus on. So yeah, bear that in mind if you've just got your study materials for your first year. The other things that I got in my packet were my module books. So this, I only got 2 this year. I had 3 last year for the DE 200. But because it's my final year, I have my project, which is basically my dissertation. I've already filled out my information for that, so the type of project I want to do, if I want to do an oh my god, what is it called? Experiment. If I want to do an experiment, a survey, or if I want to do a qualitative report, I've already picked that and I'm just waiting to be assigned my tutor based on those choices. So there's not as much reading this year. This one's a very thin book. This one's a bit heftier, but from what I gather, it's kind of just similar to last year in the layout. So that's good. I should also mention I have lost it, which is not a great start. But I also got a disc in this pack with SSSPS or SSPS. I can't remember how to say it, which is a statistical program that is quite commonly used, which you will need for some of your assignments. So you should also have one of those if you're doing a psychology degree. I think you get it in your 2nd year and your 3rd year, not in your first. They don't expect you to do it in your first because it takes a while to get your head wrapped around it. I think I'm going to need a refresher if I get my choice of doing an experiment, because I can't actually remember how to use it. But hey, that's why you've got a tutor. So looking at my other module, I got fewer study materials in that one. So again, I got the contents checklist. There I got another read me, which is a similar, if not exactly the same, layout to the other one with FAQs on the back, 6 steps to get started. And then I also got my module book, which is incredibly floppy and very satisfying. Does anyone else love a floppy book? So this one has a different layout to the other books that I've had, so it makes a nice change. So in addition to the physical study materials, my module websites have also opened. They don't normally open, I think, until September, but I can get onto both my module websites and have a look through at the weeks, what I'm doing then, when there's a break week, and kind of start getting myself ready. Again, if you're in your first or second year, normally at this point the Getting Ahead website is open, so you can go in and start kind of prepping if you want to. I don't know, if you've got something big going on right at the beginning of the academic year, so you want to kind of get on the front foot a bit, then check out your Getting Ahead website. It's really useful. The forums won't be open yet, so there's not much point in having a look at those just yet. Your forum typically opens after your tutor's assigned, I believe, and you'll obviously get notified when your tutor's been assigned and given all of their contact details and things if you need them. So that is pretty much everything I got for my third year of study. I'm really excited about this because I'm a bit of a stationery freak. I'm planning on doing a stationery haul for my third year of uni. So everything that I'm going to be using stationery wise for this year of my degree. We're talking notebooks, pens, highlighters, squared paper, a binder, like heavily exciting things. So if you're interested in a study stationery haul, then make sure that you're subscribed. And I don't really understand YouTube. I think there's a bell notification. I've not worked it out. If there is, click it. Otherwise, just bear in mind that video will be coming probably in the next week or two. Yeah, so that's everything. Done the chat, shown you the bits. Yeah, and I've told you about what's coming up, so I'm there basically. I will catch up with you very soon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.